Welcome back, everybody. The year is slowly but surely coming to an end, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this. I, however, can. I feel like this whole year has just been one big reading slump. Literally, just like one big, you know. So I haven't been reading a lot. Actually, I'm not on track. I think I read like 10 books, if even. Oh, let's not talk about it anymore. However, I know I'm pretty positive I will not reach my goal I have set for the year, because I went kind of like overboard a little bit, because last year was alright reading wise. It wasn't perfect, wasn't great, but it was definitely alright, and the year before was great. And so I felt like maybe I have to up it a little bit, force myself a little bit, and then, excuse me, and then it kind of just went, and the year went by and I didn't feel like reading a lot. But I also, like, I did buy books, sure, but I didn't buy nearly as many as I would have any other year, like as I did last year. Like, whatever, like I did buy, I'm like looking at my bookshelf here, I did buy a couple books, but not half as many as last year. So it was like a whole thing. Like, I don't hate reading, I don't hate books, but it was just like I wasn't as deep into it as I was the previous years. But in terms of not reaching my goal but coming closer to my goal, and the year almost being over, I came up with 10 books I would love to finish before the year ends. Do I think I will get all of them done? Probably not, because I'm also back in class, and I have this thing where most of the time, which is also part of why I haven't read this much this year, where I usually read a lot more on term break. However, on term break I was also still working a lot before my holiday, and then like before my England trip, and then also I had my internship and stuff. I don't know if you guys are caught up with all the bits and bobs, but so I was like still busy even though I was on term break, if that makes sense. Like more busy than usual, and so I didn't really get around to reading. And every time I had like free time, I wasn't like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down in this. I don't know, that was just not the moment. And so while I was in class, I didn't read a lot. Like, I did read, but like for class, which is also a thing, and like part of the reason I read more when I'm on break. But yeah, that didn't happen. So we have a couple of different categories. So I have a bit of like crime-ish stuff, then we have a mixed pile, and I have kind of like a fall Christmas season pile, and I actually don't know which one to start with. I think I'm gonna start with the random pile. So I have 10 books in total. Currently ish reading, almost done, is Love from Scratch, which you might be shocked to still find here, because I feel like this is the cover, very cutesy, which might be shocking if you have been catching up with me recently. I don't know how often I mention it, I don't think as many times, but I started reading this I think even before I went to London, like shortly before, and then I had it with me in London and read a little bit of it, and like in Manchester, but not enough. And now just to put it to the side, and uni starting back up and all that kind of stuff, just got a little lost in the sauce, not gonna lie. But I'm like more than halfway through, and so I'm very much hoping to finish that still. It's sweet, like what I've read of it so far is very sweet, and I think if I catch a moment where I'm like, I want to read now, I can finish the rest of it in one sitting. I just haven't felt like it in a while. But this is book number 1, Love from Scratch by Caitlin Hill. Very sweet, no pun intended. This is the first one. Then we have Small Worlds by, I'm not gonna butcher his name, I have to say Caleb Azuma Nelson, I assume, which I want to read real bad. And if you guys know me a little bit, you know, and I will talk about this probably in detail in my reading wrap up for like this year. This is the second book he wrote, his first one is Open Water, which I don't have here currently, or I would have shown you the book, which is probably my favorite book of the year so far. And I gave it to my best friend to read, so I don't have it with me right now. But Open Water was such a refreshing, different writing style, and like so nice, and like the London setting for me personally was great, and then them being creatives and all that kind of stuff. So there was a lot of small things that came together that I liked personally. And so when I finished Open Water way back this year, I instantly went online and looked up if he had written other books, and I pre-ordered Small Worlds in that moment because it wasn't out when I finished Open Water. So it's been lying around here for a while, and I picked it up a couple of times. I was like, I might read this now, and then I never got around to it. So I would love to finish this or put it at the very top of my list for next year. But honestly hoping I will finish this still. I haven't started, by the way, but yeah, book number 2. Then we have a classic, which I'm hoping is, I mean, it's a project. It has like, how many pages? 380-ish, which is not a lot, but also not nothing. However, I'm hoping this might get me out of my reading slump, because we have Funny Story by Emily Henry, which is very unfortunate, because I think this is, I think it's the American cover, I'm pretty sure, and I have the American covers for all of her books. However, this is a lot bigger than the other ones, which kind of pissed me off. But that was the only one available at the time that I got this. And usually I kind of always read Emily Henry in summer, like most of the time, because a lot of her books are also like vacation or beach set. So I feel like it makes sense, but this year I didn't get around to it. And it's like so sweet. It had like the little, I don't know if you can see this, like the little lemons on there. So yeah, very sweet. And honestly, I feel like her books are like so easy to read in the best way possible. And I'm really hoping this will maybe get me out of a reading slump, because I like her writing style, and her books, no matter the storyline, are like easy to get through. So yeah, this is also big on the list, even though that's gonna be a project. But we'll see how it goes. So this is the reason I have this on here, which makes the first 3 books. Then I'm gonna end it with the Christmas books probably. So we have The Couple at number 9, which I have bought in Manchester this year with a couple more Claire Douglas books. If you know me, you do know I enjoy a Claire Douglas book, which is the reason I bought them. And I picked this one specifically because this has been the one I've been trying to hunt down in this cover for the longest time. And so I was like, might as well start with this. And I feel like her books are good and easy to get through. It's always interesting what's going on for the most part. Honestly, the last one, which was that The Wrong Sister, it's actually right here. The last one I read was kind of predictable, for me at least, which was a bit annoying, but also I still enjoyed the story for the most part, so I don't know. But yeah, this in hopes to also get me out of a reading slump if I'm not feeling romancy. So I'm gonna, you know, try it with this one. It has like 400 pages, pretty spot on, so we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, I feel like it's always the same way Emily Henry is. Claire Douglas is always kind of like a go-to for me, just in the sense of like, I don't know what to read, I can't really decide. Let's go for this one. Not because it's bad, definitely not, love the books, but more in a sense of like it's familiar and just like, I don't know, in the best way possible, like calm to read through in a way. So I have this, and then I have something else, which, to be honest, was supposed to be my autumn, Christmas, winter time big TBR. But now looking at how the year went and being back to class and everything else, I don't think I will be remotely close to even reading any of it. So I put on the list as a very, very, like, maybe, I put Kathy Reich's Deja Dead, which is the first book, I believe, of her book series, which is the base, the TV show Bones is based on this. So I wanted, because I love the show, if you know me, you do know that. So I wanted to read the books, and I months ago, many months ago this year, I think it was this year, beginning of this year, pretty sure, bought, I think there's like 23 books, 24, something 20, and I bought the first 18 books because I got them as a set, and it was like $50 or something, like all 18 of them, which I think is a great deal. And so I put this as like a placeholder for the series, but mainly this first book on the list, because I feel like it would be, because it's like a thriller and everything, I think it would be nice to read them in fall time and like winter anyway, but I know I won't get through this one, maybe the whole series, definitely not. So maybe that's also something for next year. Maybe the thing is, it's kind of like a 50-50 thin line between reading a series and starting a series. Feels like a lot of pressure, which makes me read less. And having a series is kind of like, if I get into the thing, I have a lot of stuff to just like eat up and like get all the information in all the books. So it's kind of like a thin line between if this is going to be an advantage or not. But yeah, this one, the whole series, honestly, at least the first 18 books. Maybe that's my project for next year, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. Then we move on to more fall Christmassy times. I have 5 books left, so we're halfway, which I feel like is very fitting as well. The first one I have is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which number 1 has a very pretty cover. I really do like it. I bought this in London. I think I bought this in London, pretty sure I did. Yes, at what is it called? I bought this at Hatchard's. It's probably in my vlog, I think. So if you have seen the London vlog from this year, you will have seen this probably. Yeah, so there's also the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I don't have, and I don't know if I will buy it this year still, but I wanted to have this one. And obviously it's like fall themed and so pretty, and so this is definitely on my very soon to read, like literally really want to do this list, because I feel like it fits the theme and it fits the season, and I hope this is gonna get me in like a cozy mood, you know. So this is big on the list, and it's pretty, so what more do I want? Then we move on to Christmassy books, and I know, or I'm pretty sure, actually I wouldn't say I know, I'm pretty sure there is a book video from last winter where I had a whole Christmassy books TBR. I don't know if I uploaded that video, I think I did, and then I never got back to that video, in a sense of I didn't mention it, I think, in my wrap up or anything else, because I didn't get around to reading them. Let's be real. Wintertime for me is always kind of busy, no matter what stage I am in life. I don't know why, but I always have so many things going on at the end of the year, be it school, be it work, anything else, private life, other projects, anything. And so I don't know why I came up with the idea to have like a whole, I think it was like 10-15 books, maybe more even, just Christmassy books, which I would say before mid to end November I wouldn't read anyway. So I don't know how I thought I would fit all of those into December, when December is like probably one of the most busiest months in the year for me personally. So I don't know where I came around to that conclusion. However, I chose 3 ones that you might know from last year, because I really still do want to read them. And I'm hopeful this year I will get to read at least half of them. So we have 2 Jenny Colgan books, which I think I have read Jenny Colgan books before, not a lot, like 1 or 2. And I remember, I think I like them. It's like very easy going, very nice and quick to get through, which I love. Because I feel like sometimes you need that pick-me-up thing, you know, where it's just like very smooth to read through, and it's not like, it's sweet and nice, but it's not this like, oh, it's like a crime thing, who could be the person who did it, and like all this where you like think a lot while reading. And so we have Jenny Colgan and Island Christmas, which is this one. And then we also have Jenny Colgan, The Christmas Bookshop, which this one I definitely got last year. I do remember that, I think. Actually, now that I say this, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did. And then this one I think I had before. Actually, no. I think I bought this one. I'm gonna take that statement back. I think I read this. No, I bought this one, and then I was like, oh, that's like so sweet, and I know there's like a lot of Jenny Colgan books, so I went and looked at her Christmas book selection, and so I think I bought this and a couple more, but don't hold me accountable for this. I'm not sure. But yeah, those two Jenny Colgan books out of a honestly somewhat big collection of Jenny Colgan books that I have not read. Shame on me, I know. Just for the Christmas spirit. They look festive. I mean, a bookshop thing. Hello, that's me. I need that in my life. So that is something. And then the last two books I bought last year in London. I remember this. This you can hold me accountable for, because I do remember that. And I had them in a haul, and I had them in the Christmas TBR video from last year, which I didn't get around to reading. We have Murder Most Festive, a Christmas mystery, which honestly I think looks very nice, and I feel like it combines kind of like the Christmas spirit with a bit of like crime, and like, you know, I feel like sometimes it hooks you a little more to read like crime or mystery, because there's like something to figure out, instead of like a romance book. Maybe very sweet love romance, 100%, but like it's more a thing of like, okay, I want to figure out what's going on, so I'm gonna keep reading. So this one. And then the last and final book is actually kind of similar, because it's called The Christmas Murder Game. So it's also Christmas and murder. We have like Murder Most Festive and Christmas Murder Game, and this also was one of the books I bought last year in London. And honestly, it's this like 12 clues, 12 keys, 12 days of Christmas, but who will survive until the 12th night. And honestly, because it's like a family home and it's like a game thing and like whatever, and I think this will be great. So that is also on my list. Also trying to get in the Christmas spirit, not gonna lie, I do love Christmas. However, German winter kind of not so nice most of the time. Also kind of late. So I don't know. December will probably just be like a lot of rain, the way I know Germany. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, trying to get into the Christmas spirit. And same thing as I have with this one. It's kind of like a thing of getting in a Christmas spirit, but also it's murder, so it's like kind of a hook because I want to figure out what's going on, you know. So yeah, this concludes my list of 10 books, which is actually kind of a weird big mix. Let me stack them up, one sec. Kind of like a big weird mix, not gonna lie, because we have like romancy books and crime, and then we just have like the Christmas situation with nothing else. Honestly, I'm a bit scared to lift that up because I feel like it's gonna fall, but here we are. This is the stack. We do love a good book stack. So yeah, as you can see, big mix, we do love. So that was that. Oh, almost fell. But yeah, that was the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and share if you are into reading Christmassy books, like, or like not even just Christmassy books, but like if you try to like stick to the season of the book, you know, like summer, like books set in summer, read them in summer. Christmas books, read them around Christmas time, that kind of stuff. If you're into that kind of stuff, like what is your favorite season and what is your favorite book in that season? Let me know. maybe you're new to the whole thing, get into the Christmas vibes. I don't know. Also, do you like Christmas or not? Because I feel like there's like love Christmas people, and then there's like I don't really care, you know. But yeah, that was enough. Once again, thank you guys for watching. See you next week.